welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. With me today is Jason George with JMG Custom Carpentry. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. All right, so custom carpentry, that encompasses a lot.
Yes, it does.
All right, so why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do?
Well, pretty much anything you need done inside your house, we can do it. We do
Okay.
anything from complete remodels to anything with new builds. We do kitchens, bathrooms, custom trim work.
Okay.
We can make it all happen.
Make it all happen. So then that means I have a lot more questions.
All right.
All right, so if I call you up and I want you to do like some specific bookcases in the living room,
Okay.
and you come over and my plan is just stupid and doesn't work with my space, do you advise customers where they do wrong and try to get them to see a better way, or do you just roll with the plan?
I will always voice my opinion
Okay.
and let people know if what they want to do will work or won't work. And if there's a better way it can be done, I will advise them that.
Okay, so let's just say you come to my house and we're remodeling my kitchen.
Okay.
And we run into some mold in the subfloor. Is that something that you take care of, or do you have to refer me to someone else that'll help me with my mold remediation?
As far as mold goes, there's specialized remediation companies for that, so I would probably refer that one outwards. But as far as anything else goes, we can get it taken care of. If
All
there's
right.
any damage in the floor that needs to be replaced, we can do it. But as far as remediation purposes, I leave that one to the professionals in that aspect of the business.
All right. Is that something like if you get to a job and there's just like mold or something that you can't do you have people that you know that are in the industry that do things that you might not be able to do, or?
As far as pretty much any aspect, I have plumbers, I have electricians, I have mold remediation, I
Okay.
have roofers, I have someone I can refer for just about everything that needs to be done if it's not something that I can take care of.
You know, I love that because obviously I want something done that requires your specialty, and I may not know that I need electricity run for a light or some aspect of what I want to create. So I think it's awesome that you have people that you can refer out.
Absolutely.
I've called people before, and it's like they come over and no, I don't do that. And okay, well, can you help me? Well, I don't really know anybody, so I'm glad that you recommend people. So of all the things that you do, what is your least favorite repair to do in the home?
My least favorite right now is anything outdoors because it's so hot out personally, but
I heard that
I will
yesterday.
still do it.
You'll still do it? What's your favorite thing to do?
Kitchens and bathrooms.
Those are big jobs.
They are big jobs, but that's kitchens, bathrooms, and trim work is what I specialize in. Anything else, I'm highly capable of doing it. May not be my favorite to do, but I'll still do it.
Okay, so if you come over to my house and we're going to do a complete bathroom redo,
Okay.
barring any kind of complications, what's your turnaround time on a complete redo of a bathroom?
It depends on what materials I have readily available because right now, everything, it
yes.
takes a little while to get certain things to come in. If I have all materials in hand, I can have demo to a complete bathroom in probably a week and a half.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It's not easy to get everything ready for yourself in that time, but if it is, we can make it happen.
All right, so so I guess there's a lot to just doing a remodel. So you have to remember, or not remember, but every day whenever you go to the job, it's like you have to task out what you want to try to do. Because that's
absolutely.
a short, a week and a half, that's not much time.
It's not a lot of time, but it's usually pretty quick.
That is awesome.
The demo takes a day or two, well, usually a day, and then you start rebuilding. Then once it's rebuilt and all waterproofed in, you start tiling, and then you put the vanities in, the tops in, and it can make it happen.
Yeah, that's all foreign to me. It would take me 6 months. So that's why I work over here and leave it to people who know what they're doing.
That's all right.
So how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing carpentry work for, I'm going to say since 2007.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much right when I got out of high school.
That's awesome. So you told me something interesting in the green room. Your mom and dad work for you?
They do.
So what do mom and dad do? That's awesome, by the way.
Honestly, they'll do just about anything. They help me with kitchen installs. They do demos. They do everything. They're my go-to on any job I have.
I love it. So how did you have to do much convincing, or did you just have to ask, hey, I want to do this, but I want you on board to help me?
At the point in time when I started my own business in Florida, my parents were still living in Massachusetts.
Okay.
So at the point when I had my business established and I needed help, my parents said, okay, well, what can we do? I said, well, if you want to move to Florida and come work for me, I said, I'd love to have you come work for me.
So
And within 3 weeks, my dad was down here for a few months working for me. And then probably 8 months later, they both moved down, and they've been here ever since. And they're very happy they moved to Florida from Massachusetts.
amen
That's
to
for sure.
that. Well, that is awesome that you get to that you want to work with your parents.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to
absolutely.
work with either one of mine. So.
Honestly, it's the best two employees I've ever had.
Well, I'm sure because their sole interest is your best interest.
Oh, yeah.
So that's very
And
smart.
my interest is their interest, and I want to make sure that they are taken care of in any aspect of life possible, and
That's
I
awesome.
make sure that happens.
So do you use a lot of power tools?
Every power tool imaginable.
So my dad growing up, he taught me how to do everything by hand.
Mm-hmm.
So like I need help if I have to get the drill out. I really need help, and that's really sad because it's not that difficult to drill a hole in the wall. But I really struggle with.
It's not
with
for
that.
people who know how to use the tools properly. For people who don't, it could take a little while.
Well, 'cause you know what happens to me is I either strip the screw, or I go off the screw and into the wall.
My mom strips the screw quite often, but it's all right. I just grab another one and let her keep going. She's gonna get it down.
Well, she probably doesn't jump off the screw into the wall and make more work for you to do. But
No, not often.
so do you do small jobs too, like just
I
little,
do.
you know?
Small jobs, big jobs, whatever it is. If you call me, I'll come check it out, and we'll make it happen.
That is so awesome. So how many employees do you currently have?
Currently, right now, I have 4 employees,
And you're probably staying
and
busy
I'm
24/7.
very busy. And I'm looking to expand to more employees, more experienced employees, and more helpers as well.
So I see this a lot on Facebook. That's where I get most of you all to come in.
Yep.
And the common complaint I see on Facebook is you call someone to come even give a quote.
And they
you
don't show up.
Yes, you cannot get anybody to even come to your house these
Yep.
days. So do you always do a quote first, obviously?
Oh, absolutely.
And what is your turnaround time? Say if I called you tomorrow and said, "Hey, Jason, I got some work over here. I'm not really sure how extensive I need it to be, but I mean, is it are you a couple weeks out for even getting somebody over to do an estimate?"
For an estimate, no.
Okay.
I will book it as soon as I have availability, which is I usually try to schedule 2 to 3 estimates a night.
Oh, wow.
And
So
then
you're
I'm
really
up till
busy.
like 1 o'clock in the morning doing quotes, and I'm not afraid to work.
That's awesome. That is awesome. All right, so I'm trying to think here. What else? Do you work only in Port St. Lucie?
No. I work anywhere from, I would say, as far north as Vero
Okay.
to about as far south as Palm Beach, like
Okay.
West Palm usually. I've taken jobs farther, but they got to be big jobs and worth it. But I try to stay in the local area.
I like that. Well, it's just easier for everyone around. You don't have to
Oh,
worry about getting a
absolutely.
room and all your employees getting a room.
And with the price of gas right now, it's tough to even want to drive that far. So
So you've been doing this long enough. I think I can ask this question. I know right now everything is expensive. Everything is expensive.
the price of wood is almost doubled
It's
from what it was a
scary.
year ago,
Scary.
and the price of everything is going up like crazy.
So I know historically we have trends where things go up. Do you think that these prices are going to eventually start to come down a little bit, or do you see this
I
as a
hope
trend?
so.
It's crazy. It seems
I
like
give people quotes sometimes, and they look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, we got a quote for this a year ago, and it was way less than that." I said, "Well, materials almost doubled in that year, so
Yes.
that's going to be one big factor."
yes. So like a 2x4 is almost what, $50 a piece at the moment, or something crazy like that.
No, definitely not that much for a
Okay.
2x4.
Well,
but
hey,
a sheet
that's
of
good.
plywood went from $40
sorry, that's
now
what
up
I
to
meant.
$90, which is
Oh my
ridiculous.
goodness! And you need plywood for
A lot of
most
things.
anything.
Yes.
All right. So, have you ever gotten into a situation where you're over your head or anything?
I would say one demo I got into, I was definitely way over my head on it because it turned out to be a lot more than I wanted it to be. But
So
I have-
did you finish the job?
oh yeah, absolutely.
I love it. So
I
no
always
challenge
finish
is
the
too
jobs.
big for you
No.
then. I
No
love
challenge is too big. I have friends I can call if needed. If there's anything that is not my specialty, I can call, I can get help, and we'll get it done.
So you just have it all figured out, basically.
I try to.
I like that answer.
I definitely try.
And you're probably like me. If you do something kind of wrong today, you're probably constantly trying to better yourself with everything that you do.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no such thing
Every
as,
time I quote something, once I go through the whole job, I look back and say, is there anything I could have done differently to make something work smoother, or whatever it is we.
See, I like that because a lot of people today, it just seems like they get stuck in a rut of continuing to do things that don't work. So I like to ask people that question because to me it says a lot about a business person if they're willing to see, if they're willing to reflect every day, how can I do this better? So that's amazing that you sit back and actually
That's
think
how all
that.
businesses need to be.
Need to be
There's
in
no
our,
business that's perfect.
This is
Every
true.
business can perfect itself day after day.
I love it. All right, so if we want to find you, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook under JMG Custom Carpentry. You can find me at www.jmgcustomcarpentry.com. Or you can give me a call at 413-652-2546, and we can schedule an appointment for any work you're looking to have done inside your house or outside your house.
All right, guys, so you know I'm big about vibe. Rarely do I have men in the studio that have a good vibe, but this gentleman, Jason, with JMG Custom Carpentry, definitely deserves your opportunity to bid your job. Thank you very much for coming in.
Absolutely.
I hope
Thank you
have a
for
great rest of
having
the day.
me.
All right, guys, until next time, have a great day.